Hello YouTube pipe community, OTC Piper here, and I'm hoping not to make this too long. There's a few things I want to get accomplished with this video. Things have gotten busy at work and everything, and I've missed out on getting some videos done that I wanted to do, so I'm going to group them all together here. So hopefully we can wrap this up in a nice little package. Speaking of that, I got a thing in, a pipe roll in from Tallazpiper, who does great work, by the way. We're trading some tobaccos and everything like that. So I got some flake on the way. It's on being shipped in right now that I'm going to send his way. And he got me this real nice pipe roll, and I wanted to show off. It's got through pockets here in the front. I've kind of, you know, you can put quite a bit of pipes in there if you wanted to configure it this way. Little tool pouch and everything right here. Get some matches, a pipe tool, and he also sent a little bag full of King's Blend. It's from his a brick and mortar there in his local area, which is really good, and I'm going to light some of that up here in a second. But I got some pipe cleaners, things such as that in there, and just wraps up in a nice little bundle. This is where, if you know, I think it's got many uses, but you know, being away from home for a little while, or if you're, you know, out of town for a couple of days, nice little kit to have. So I wanted to get on and do a shout out to Gabe there. I'm going to put a link to his channel. If you haven't subbed him, go check him out. I think you'll like his stuff. But this is definitely a nice surprise. So I'm going to try some of that King's Blend, which is a Latakia blend, and it's sweeter than most Latakia blends that I've tried, and I really like it. Oh, getting a little heater blowing out here. It blew out my match. Angle it away a little bit. That's better. There's tamper came from him as well a few months back. Blue line pipe tamper with a 45 ACP shell casing. My department's a 9mm department, and there's a lot of benefits to that. It's definitely a cartridge that's come a long way in the last couple of decades. But I really like the 45 as well. If I had my way, we'd all carry 1911s. That's just because I'm a big 1911 buff. Anyways, speaking of that, I was also going to throw a little cop story into the mix, and something I've been wanting to do for a while is give a little shout out to a non-pipe channel. But if you like the cop stories. And some people have commented on really liking them when they come out on my channel once in a while. I think you're really gonna like this channel. It's called Real Police Talk, and I've gotten on there and watched a lot of his videos. He's still in law enforcement. He's got many more years than I've got, and lots of great stories, very fascinating stories. So go check him out. I'm also going to put his information down in the description. But this one was a little humorous. Looking back, the guy that I'm partnered with now, we were working opposite shifts, and he started a case because of a subject evading and dropped some bags, or a bag behind, so he collected that up. And there in it, were, things indicating he, theft. And so the next shift, when I'm on, I get a theft report, somebody that has had their car broken into, and it was right there in the same area that he was running around late at night. And so I'll go work the report, and I discussed that, his case with him a little bit during the debrief in between shifts and everything. And took this theft report, did everything, right. And it just started to seem, the people that did the theft report reported seeing this subject that looked like the one that my partner was after, around the property. So I thought, well, same area, similar appearance. Probably a good idea, a good indication that both of these cases involve the same person. So he was known to be around a certain group of apartments, and in it there were some people that supposedly he was, after we did some more research into this subject, he was staying with. And these people, let's just say we have developed a relationship with a couple other people that live in this apartment, which is not a good thing, the way we've developed our relationship with them. So we've had some issues. So we go to this apartment. As we're walking up kind of the back side, you see through the curtain, multiple people inside. So we go around, knock on the door, hear a little rustling around, no answer to the door, and then it goes dead quiet. So we're knocking on the door, banging on the door. We get one of the other officers to come, back us up. Finally, we get a knock on the, we get an answer to the door. And let me go back a little bit. This is, now I'm with the person that I'm partnered with permanently on the shift now. Now we're kind of pulling our resources working this case. So someone comes to the door and they say, well, no one else is in the apartment. So we eventually work our way inside, and sparing some of the details, we're kind of looking around for some of the items that were reported missing. And we just feel like there's just something wrong, because we were watching all the sides, all the windows and everything. Nobody's gone out. So we look in this closet area, and there's a little step ladder near a crawl space in the attic. And so we're, me and my partner thinking, we have a dog also in the apartment. And the dog's kind of backed his way up to the step ladder like he's, kind of guarding the way. Somebody's up there that he knows. So we start looking around. It looked like the shelf had been bent a little bit, where the nail and the, where it come off the support in the back by somebody stepping up on the front lip of the shelf. So I stick my flashlight up in there, and of course I'm not getting all the way up in there because I don't know who's up there and what they got. We hear a little rustling around, and we're trying to get them to come down. They're not answering. And then one of our other officer that came to back us up told the other officer very loud, "Go get the smoke grenade, or the tear gas grenade." He said, "Go get the tear gas grenade." And all of a sudden you heard in just muffled excitement, "No, don't get that, don't get that, it'll come down." So he finally comes down. And we're asking him, why'd you go up? Why did you crawl up there? Why weren't you telling us that you were here? He goes, if you say you didn't do any of that, or know about any of these missing items. And he goes, well, I had warrants and blah, blah, blah. And so I'm thinking, well, good, you've kind of wrapped that up for us. So we had that on him. And then we hear a little bit more rustling around up there. And there is, Okay, that was weird. As soon as I start talking about rustling around in the attic, I start hearing a knocking coming from somewhere. So I go walk around the perimeter, and of course no one's out there, and everyone that should be in the house is in the house and they're sleeping, so I don't know what that was. Anyways, back to the story. So here's some more rustling around up there. Okay, here I'm going back up the ladder trying to get whoever it is out. And this girl comes down, pregnant girl, who was just there visiting apparently. And we ask her, so what were you doing up there? And she goes, I don't know, I was just scared. He was going up there, so I went with him. So, just a fun little story. And it never ceases to amaze me what you're going to find when you go into a house where you're out doing this. Didn't think I'd be crawling up in there and sending tear gas grenades up. But anyways, we're still working that, that case. They became very cooperative after that. So we kind of called their bluff on a lot of that kind of thing. And I just thought that was a funny little story I thought I would tell. And I had just a little bit of ramble. I know I've rambled a bit about the cop story. And I said before, I got a package coming that I ordered. And I got some for Tallazpiper, some blends I'm going to send his way since he sent me this nice pipe roll. I got some a few other things. But I noticed from the shipping information that they send, this one was through smokingpipes.com. And I started using them a little bit more because their shipping was faster. For years I'd used Pipes and Cigars, and they're good too. It takes them a little bit longer to get their stuff to your door. A lot of times if Smoking Pipes is out of something, there's a good chance that Pipes and Cigars has it. But I noticed something in the shipping information from smokingpipes.com is they started to go more along the way of what I'm used to experiencing with Pipes and Cigars, and I'm kind of concerned, and I'm hoping that they don't start taking longer to get the stuff to you, because what would normally happen with Pipes and Cigars is they'd UPS it and then they'd transfer it to the U.S. Postal Service, and they'd ship it all around to all these different hubs before they got it to you. And my previous experiences with smokingpipes.com is it was all U.S. Postal Service, and they'd get it to you in just 2 or 3 days. So this one I noticed it was a little bit longer than I was expecting when they gave you the estimated delivery time. So as the shipping started to come, I saw that they shipped through UPS, and it went from I forget where they're out of, but shipped it to South Carolina, then to North Carolina. Then they shipped it over to Nashville, Tennessee. Then they shipped it to Memphis, Tennessee. Then they shipped it down to Dallas, and I'm in the North Texas area, or near Dallas. Shipped down to Dallas, and then they shipped it over to Mesquite, which is about 30 minutes different. So they spent another day getting it from Dallas to Mesquite, with their arrival scan and departure scan. And if my experience with Pipes and Cigars, I'm starting, if they're starting to, smokingpipes.com starting to do kind of like Pipes and Cigars, I'm going to see when I open it up again that we'll have transferred it to the U.S. Postal Service. And I thought that, that was kind of odd that all of a sudden now the ship, I don't know why they would do it differently. But I thought I'd see if anyone else has experienced the same thing. I'm certainly hoping that we don't start seeing longer shipping times out of smokingpipes.com. And maybe this is perhaps a temporary thing just to handle some of the holiday load. But I thought that was a little bit odd. And just thought I'd throw that out there. Just a little ramble as I'm enjoying this King's blend. I hope I haven't rambled on too much or bored anyone to tears. Go check out those two channels, Tallazpiper, if you haven't already. Give him a sub. And if you like the cop stories, he's got more exciting cop stories than I do at Real Police Talk on the YouTube. And so, he's got 30 some odd years into it. I'm coming into it so far a couple of years in. So hopefully I can get some interesting stories with in a good way. Anyway, so I'm going to go ahead and wrap that up. Hope everybody's weekend is getting off to a good start. And I know I got to go in to work for a little while today on a special event we have going on. So hopefully that'll go well. And hopefully your weekend continues to go well. Go ahead and sign off. OTC Piper, wishing everybody out there all the best. Here's the good times and a warm pipe.